Welcome back, dear learners. Before the ad break, we prepared the wages channel and we were able to calculate deductions as well as contributions. But with me here, I have a very interesting question, and it reads, calculate Mohale's net wage for the week, and we must show all workings. We have the hours that he has worked 52 hours. But the normal hours that he must work per week is 40. And then the normal time rate is 78 Rand 50. And the overtime rate is 117 Rands and 50. That means here he's worked normal time as well as overtime. Let's see. In normal time, he has worked 40 hours and the rate for normal time is 78 Rand 50. 78.50. Punch that in your calculator for me. Give me an amount. If you say 78.50 multiplied by 40, that should give you, I'm going to put the amount here on top, that should give you 3,140. 3,140. There you go. And for overtime, he has worked 12 hours. How do you get 12? Because in total he has worked 52, yet normal is 40. So it's 52 minus 40, that gives you 12 hours. And for those 12 hours, we are going to pay 117 Rands and 50. That means the overtime that we're going to pay him is 1,410. 1,410. We will add these two amounts then. It will give us 4,550. This becomes our gross wage. How did we get this one? We added our normal time plus our overtime. Okay, let's look at the deductions. It says, SARS pay as you earn, it is 18% of gross. 18% of gross. So I'm going to take my gross, which is 4,550. I multiply by 18%. Please punch that in your calculator. 4,550 multiplied by 18%. That is going to give you 819. Let's go on to the next one. Pension. CP pension fund, 8% of basic. 8% of basic. 8% of basic. Now, the basic is now referring to the normal time. This is the normal time, therefore, that becomes the basic. So when we calculate pension, we get 8% of the basic, which is 3,140. Then we get 8% of that. You must not use the 4,550 because that is the gross. In this case, they wanted us to use the basic. So 3,140 multiplied by 8%. That will give you, punch it in your calculators, 251 Rands and 20 cents. Let's move on to medical aid. Medical aid, it's given already, 320 Rands. So here, there were no calculations, 320. The next one is UIF, 1% of basic. UIF, 1% of basic. And my basic is given. My basic is given to be 3,140. And if I'm calculating 1% of my basic, it is 1 over 100. I am going to get an amount which is 31 Rands and 40. Then lastly, union fees. My union fees, 12 Rand per week. So I'll come here, then I'll add 12. I want you to grab your calculator. Then you add 819 plus 251 Rand and 20 plus 320 plus 31 Rand 40 plus 12 Rand. When we have added our amounts, we will then get a total on the deductions, which is 1,433 and 60 cents. 1,433 and 60 cents. We will now say gross minus deductions. The gross is 4,550. The deductions are 1,433 rands and 60 cents. It will give me net wages, which is 3,116 rands and 40 cents. That becomes your net wages. Let's quickly go and see the next question. The next question then reads, calculate the amount due to GW Medical on behalf of C. Mohale for the week ending 28 October. That means there was an amount of deductions, which is 320, and then we want to see the contributions, which is 1 Rand 20 for every 1 Rand. That means the 320 becomes my deduction. I'm going to add my contribution, which is 320 multiplied by 1 Rand 20, and then the total gives me 704 rands. This is the amount due to GW Medical on behalf of C. Mohale. Let us now look at the next question, and the next question reads, complete the posting to the CF Pension Fund account in the general ledger. Take into account that an EFT to settle the amount was made on 31 October. Now, let's see what they want us to do. So this is the CF Pension Fund. So we have to record amounts in here. You have to understand that we have pension fund deduction as well as contribution. So the first part is the deduction. We have done this calculation before, whereby we took the normal hours because it is 8% of basic. So we had to calculate our basic where we took the 40 hours and we multiplied by the normal rate, which is 78.50, and we had an amount which was 3,140. We did this already. Now they're saying we should now get 8% of that basic to be the deduction. So if we say 3,140 multiplied by 8%, how much does it give you? If you punch that in your calculator, it should give you 251 rands and 20. That is what I bring here now as wages. Remember, that is the deduction, wages, and I'm bringing my 251 and 20. But we also have pension fund contribution, and they say the pension fund contribution, it is 10% of the basic, 10% of the basic. How much is my basic? We have it, 3,140, and I need 10% of that. Please punch that in your calculators. How much do you get? If you say 3,140 multiplied by 10%, it gives you 314. I'll then come here and I'll say pension fund contribution, pension fund contribution, and the pension fund contribution becomes 314. If I'm to totalize, I'll now add, that is my 251 and 20 plus 314. That should give me 565 rands and 20. 565 rands and 20. And they have told us that an EFT was made to settle the account. That means I'll come here, then I have my bank because an EFT was made. Bank, and it is 565 and 20. Here is how it would then look after it is neatly done. Let us go for an ad break and I'll see you shortly.